All right, we're live with a 1 hour SSP 9. We're on a deadline. Or so I've been instructed. No.
Time's ticking.
Clock's ticking, so let's do this. We got 3D printed super tiny miniature sensors. We've got GTA 5 riots mirroring the Hong Kong riots. And we have mirroring. And we also have whiskey tasting. Apparently the proper way. I've been doing it wrong my whole life as far as smelling goes, but we'll get to that. All right. So let's first start with the 3D printed hand because we had talked about that a couple episodes ago. And there's actually, I think when we talked about it, we talked about how the practicality of it, like this would just be like a quick thing, a quick substitute, because it wasn't like a robust, usable thing. It was kind of like it was like a little gimmicky 3D printed thing. But this kid actually had his hand like 3D printed and worked up so that it could grip.
And its founder, Gaurav Nanda. That's me.
First thing he gripped was his bottle.
Is a hello.
So they can go next level.
You know what he's doing with that hand?
Whoa.
He's gripping bottles.
That's right. Water bottles to hydrate.
So there's
great.
not. I don't think there's
It's a great move.
Gavin, this is life-changing. Simple tasks so many of us take for granted. Like
Yeah, I just wonder why they would go 3D printing instead of like 3D printing. To me, it still seems like a prototype like method, you know.
Yeah.
And then you actually make a mold and cast.
Yeah, put it around robotic hand. Then, like Luke Skywalker, of course.
Yeah.
Then you're doing a good thing. But, you know, if you meet people with prosthetics, this kid's going to get the benefit of the doubt when people aren't going to just look at his hand. Well, this is a robotic hand, though.
Yeah, it has.
But quickly realized they would not work.
It has moving parts.
So what
and
happens when he fucking loses his mind in like a fist fight at school and like closes someone's
shatters.
trachea? Cause
No,
Yeah.
dude, it's 3D printed. That thing's gonna fall apart.
He's got two hands that are robotic.
Yeah.
Both his hands are robotic. That's
It
gotta
only
be
has
a game
3
changer.
fingers.
Yeah, that's got to be a game changer. As long as he has an opposable thumb and 2 other fingers, it's good.
I would have to have my friends, help me.
Ah, see, he's
with all
got
my
the
stuff,
one's like got more, all the fingers. The other one's got the rest of the fingers.
Yeah.
That's great. I think it's awesome.
They don't talk about like the cost or like,
Economist says this is a game changer.
you know, if they're gonna start manufacturing these or if this was just a test. You know? I still think this is like a prototype thing. Like they use a 3D printer to make a prototype.
Oh, so
and then
you're
they
saying-
test it cheaply before they actually manufacture the parts.
But see, what they're doing is it has a switch inside of it. It's not mechanical at all. I mean, it's slightly mechanical, but he uses it. He bends his wrist, and the pressure
And it just pulls.
into the palm of the hand makes the hand squeeze.
Yeah.
So,
That's
yeah,
cool.
That's pretty cool. I like
Smart.
it. Yeah. It's
baby
useful.
steps. Next thing you know, he's gonna have robot hands that can crush metal doors. And
Yeah.
pry open vaults and
Right.
Tracheas of bullies.
close tracheas of bullies and pull their arms off.
Right
and-
away. He's like, this kid's gonna just go smashing through the bank vault, steal all the money. No.
Epic, what do you think they'll make out of this super tiny 3D printer technology? Just so you know, that's a quarter that they printed that little boat on. Like that little boat's on a quarter. A real life quarter.
Huh.
It's actually on a dime. Oh my god.
Well, clearly you make robot spies and put cameras on them and have them go into secret places and watch.
What?
Remember the old people always saying, "I wish I could be the fly on the wall during." that
Literally
conversation."
fly on the wall. Yeah.
That's where that's going.
Yeah, I mean that's impressively small, and like it looks good.
Mhm.
Like
But
that's
think about microprocessors. Could they 3D print processors? Or
well, they're gonna
things
use
along
this to 3D print sensors, I think, for like phones and stuff, like gyroscope sensors, stuff like that.
Mhm. Smaller than a human hair.
Yeah.
Wow.
What do you think, Epic? Fly on the wall technology?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna like 3D print. What was that movie a long time ago where they went inside the guy's body?
Romantic school bus.
Yeah, that too. The second episode, or was it the first one?
I don't know.
It was like really early on. It's on Netflix.
Implementations are always good, I guess. You think about like nanotechnology, like you can build something out of something so small down to the like microscopic points. Well, quite as close as to microscopic as you can get, I guess.
Microfabrication. A good word.
See the implementation, I just don't fully understand why we'd want to make something so small.
Well,
it's only a matter of time before porn gets a hold of it and it fucking who knows where that goes.
I remember a long time ago they talked about I forget it was some what's the big British college? Super smart. Anyways, they made technology where
Oxford.
Yeah, I think it was Oxford. They did a study or they tried working on something where your phone had sensors, like a microphone size hole, but vibrations from the world would vibrate these tiny little fibers, like copper fibers, and it would generate electricity because the vibration of the little copper fibers on each other. It was like passive charging or something like that. But yeah,
you see,
the smaller you get, the more. Go ahead.
3D printing is going to enable people to make less expensive products on all scales. So yeah, if you're building if you need a small holder for a microprocessor in a phone, they can 3D print that. That's where 3D printing becomes relevant.
And the fact that 3D printing is open source a lot of the time. So you think that eventually they're going to start selling like blueprints for 3D printers, like the things to 3D print, and then the cost of 3D printers is going to skyrocket.
Right. So that kid's family eventually could 3D print his hands at home, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's important.
And then the porn gets a hold of it, and he's printing 3D dildos and fucking his wife. That's
3D.
You want it bigger
dolls.
tonight, do you, sweetie? Let me get that fucking. Let's get that up and running.
Gonna take 8 hours this time.
Yeah, 3D printing is going to revolutionize the porn and prosthetic industry. Perfect. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Prosthetic porn. All right. So out of 3D for now, we move on to CES 2020 is coming up, and it's going to be in Las Vegas, I think, on Sunday.
Oh, I gotta go. Get me back on here when this discussion's over, because this one's going to cost me a lot of money. That's all.
Hey, look at what one of the articles is: sex toys. See, I'm telling you, dude. The sex game is where all the money is.
Like, at CES, those came out, and then there was a big controversy about whether or not that was the forum for sex toys, because it had like a Bluetooth controlled dildo where you could change the vibrations and the speed and everything from your phone.
I remember watching this like Vice documentary, and they went to some VR convention, and it was 90% porn related. Yeah.
Well, that's what
it's single-handedly like the largest profit dollar driver for any like tech. And the second you can sexualize something, it just blows the hell up.
Sex toys. Yeah. Last year's CES, a group behind the event drew controversy for stripping a woman's innovation award for a high-tech vibrator after it was deemed immoral, obscene, indecent, profane, or not in keeping with the CTA's image. They ultimately walked back the decision and returned the award to the vibrator company. This year, that category will be enforced, from build-it-your-own vibrator workshops, intimate gadgets for couples, and sex toy, already in the running as a finalist for the Last Gadget Standing, an annual competition hosted in partnership with CTA.
Why do you think Dave wanted to go so bad?
Yes. Oh, I want to go to CES. So it's like
Epic. Was it you that started saying like we should always meet up at like CES or?
Yeah.
Like yeah.
AVN. What are the AVN awards? Why not?
AVN. Oh my god.
Why not?
AVN CES is going to be the same thing like soon enough.
Yeah, they're all going to be one.
This is the year you want to go to E3 because they're going to have the new Xbox and PlayStation. This is
if they let us in.
Yeah, you just sneak in.
Bitches.
You 3D print your pass and you walk right the fucking.
Yeah, right on.
I'm looking forward to a foldable phone, like a good one.
Have you seen the Samsung? The Samsung. Maybe they'll show that at CES. You got
Maybe.
the Samsung. It's like the Motorola Razr, but without the big thing on the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the let's say the horizontally folding phone. Clamshell.
Yeah, I think it's a clamshell.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, they're good. I like those. I don't know why, but I want one.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I like my phones big and bold.
Well, next week we're gonna have like a ton of stuff to cover for CES. How long does CES run? A week?
A week, yeah. Starts on Monday.
Oh man.
So just the quickest thing that I've seen from CES and I'm excited about. I like the OLED TVs. I'm shopping for one for my living room for the longest time.
Yeah, they're doing.
They just
8K.
announced the 8K. That's right. But they're not just 8K, but it's also got new technology that runs the new codec that YouTube is pioneering, and no other TV actually has that codec in it yet. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it allows for true like 8K bandwidth streaming or something like that.
It's true. 8K at 60 frames per second.
Yeah,
that's variable refresh rate that'll sync with your computer. But for you, Epic, they announced their rolling OLED screen that comes from the ceiling.
There's 8 of them, actually.
Yeah.
I know that there's 8 that they're coming out. Did you know Samsung this might be the time that they do it, but Samsung's going to do OLEDs
I'll be
now.
done in like an hour.
They're done with the LED.
They're coming out with the bezel-less TV. That's what they're coming out with for this. No bezel.
Because China's tanking the LED market because they're producing LED TVs for like $5 a pop or something, and it's destroying the LED market. So Samsung's getting into the organic light emitting diodes here within the next couple of years. Probably either after this one or the next year after that, we'll be seeing OLEDs from Samsung.
Well, TCL, the Chinese company, has the new mini LEDs, not to be confused with the micro LEDs, but they have the mini LEDs. They just had their 8 series come out.
Oh, it is TCL. TCL is the one. It's fucking Samsung up.
Coming
They're
back
like
from
going off full board Walmart on Samsung.
Well, TCL in his sense, the ones you find at Walmart, and they're now producing 8K and the mini LED, and that's supposed to be a big deal. The mini LED is supposed to be a big deal because they're micro LEDs not ready.
I think it's gotten to the point where innovations are coming slower than leaps and bounds in like production cuts.
Right.
Like it's getting so easy to make a 4K TV, and like what are we moving on to 8K? And I think it'll still be easy to like get into making 8Ks.
Well, 8K is not even the material's not even available. I mean, think about it. Only 4 years ago, no one really had a 4K. Now 4Ks are ubiquitous. It's talking about 8K. Everyone's got a 4K, or most people.
But you got to think like 4K. That technology for that TV that you're talking about for YouTube being able to stream 8K, I don't even know if that technology is available for 4K yet. I don't think that it is. I mean, maybe it is, but
that's the first TV to have that.
Yeah, that's insane. Like we can't even. The bandwidth isn't even available for 4K streaming, like high resolution.
It's probably only available in that 88-inch 8K model, which is going to be like $30,000.
So it's 4K at 120 frames per second. Unless you want to spend $30,000, you're gonna have to wait another year or two.
Yeah, and they're still cost prohibitive. That's why I don't have one in my living room. It's $5,000 it was $7,000 for the 77 to start when it came out last year, and it's still $5,000. So what's the new one's going to be? $6,000, $7,000? It's just that's too much for consumer grade television. And when that comes down, then they'll be more successful at it. But we're paying for R&D. That's where that cost is going.
You're paying to be R&D, really?
Yeah. You're a test subject. Beta PT.
I wonder what they do though if you spend that much money. If you're like cough up $30,000, I wonder what they do.
Well, LG and Samsung are arguing over what true 8K is. Yeah.
I was reading the article about that. Like Samsung's in this company that like I can't remember what it's called, the abbreviation, but they recognize it as this, but LG's not in that, and then the other company that LG's a part of recognizes it as that, and it's pretty funny. I thought that was interesting. They're like making shit up as they go.
Yep.
Yeah, CES will be something to watch, and we'll have everything in SSP 10. Well, maybe not everything. We'll see when it wraps up, but we'll have as much as we can.
Yeah, let's do a recap on that, definitely.
All right, out of tech and into cars for now. Let's take a look at that driverless drifting. I sent this to Epic a while ago, and like all he could do was laugh that like why did they choose Such a terrible car.
The driverless DeLorean to drift
Yep.
through a kilometer-long auto course with the agility and precision of a human driver, completing the course called.
It's really, I was like blown away because I saw the title, Beyond the Limits, Marty Kahana. I was like, who's this Marty guy like ripping off Ken Block? So I look and I'm like watching this like thing drift. I'm like, you know, it's pretty cool or whatever. And then they're like, there's no driver. There's like no one touching the wheel. I'm like, whoa. That like makes it all different.
So then it whips it, yeah, and then it whips around. That's pretty cool.
Do you know how hard that is to do?
Yeah, I think a computer could probably do it easier than you can because it can.
Yeah, but to get a
can
computer to do it.
Calculate the acceleration plus drift plus force. It can measure all that. I don't know. I really don't know how.
To get a computer to do that though, like constantly like measuring the like because the throttle isn't RPMs. You know, RPMs like build up. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to like. There's a rhythm to it.
Like going through the bales of hay without hitting them, whilst turning into another drift. I wouldn't even know which cones to go through, much less precision drift through the cones. That's pretty impressive.
That's really impressive. It's just, it's so much harder to like get a computer to drift than you like would think. There's certain things that only people can do. Like really, you know, there's certain like.
I don't know.
Computers are like too. Like one thing or the other. You know, they're like to build in like gradual things and like predictions. Like this thing has to be like predicting. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and adjusting in real time because it's
right.
It's never going to be perfect. Well, obviously, the computers can do just fine.
Great.
And how they got that to do that, right, is amazing. And this is good. So we always talk about the Teslas and whatnot, but isn't this the kind of technology you need if you're actually going to trust your car to be autonomous?
Exactly. Yeah. What happens when a Tesla all it can do is like. Okay, so a Tesla comes up to an accident, and like, it can only think of how many measurements of correction. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's only gonna stop, right? As best it can.
It's not gonna take the risky maneuver you might. It might not just jump up on the sidewalk because it sees all this stuff barrel in front of it. But you might think that, and you might see the sidewalk is open. You jump up there, you avoid a 8-car pileup, and you're safe. You just on a tire from jumping on the sidewalk. Yeah, it wouldn't calculate that, and that's why they haven't
my life
because it's still reading signs and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know. But that's a step in the right direction. We're going to completely autonomous driving. I don't know if you want to put your car in drift mode.
Google Deep Learning, like they're learning everything all over the place, like crazy. You can watch like Google Play. You can watch like Google Play chess against people, and it learns the nuances of like certain chess openings and stuff, and like it's fucking crazy. It's really wild, and it learns over time like how to beat people. It scans thousands upon millions of games of chess, and then like executes tactitious plans. But that deep mind thing it's just fucking crazy. It's only a matter of time though before that gets into a car, and then the car starts to learn and educate itself on what is and what isn't an obstacle.
It's just gonna be pissed off at every other person, just like every human is. Why does this guy fucking not use a signal? Like, that's gonna cause like the rise of the robots. As soon as computers realize how fucking stupid we drive, how we're like our own worst enemies, like driving like complete assholes in front of each other.
Right, because we approach AI like it's a puppy that we're training, but eventually the puppy will go
trains itself. When it trains itself, then we're fucked. All right. Yeah. Let's take a look at like what I would want my computer to drift.
The Dodge Challenger.
Yeah. Although everyone says like there's this weird ringing sound. I'm sure you'll hear it, but they say it's like maybe a belt issue, or like it's just because the supercharger is so massive that it's like so high pitched.
It's on air suspension. Just dropped it.
Yeah, bagged.
Huh.
Sounds like a
Yeah.
like bell or tingy. Oh,
Yeah,
what
it
that
does have
is.
a tinny aluminum sound to it. Could be the supercharger whining. So the
Hey, look,
Hellcat sound.
an iPad in the dash. Hallelujah. Done.
I knew you'd like that.
It's my dream car now. I love it.
Yeah, this thing's awesome though. It's
This is
completely handmade to look like a
Yeah.
1970.
It's custom. What has it got under a Hemi?
I don't even know. I can't remember.
We're finally getting to shoot this
This guy goes over all of it.
It's a 1970 Dodge Challenger that had its debut
Wow.
at SEMA
It's so
2019
beautiful, though.
McGuire's booth.
Someone said,
There's
"Please
not
don't sell it to
one
Kevin
panel,
Hart." That's
not
funny.
1 inch on this car that
There's
hasn't
what?
been touched by
Don't
these
sell it to
guys.
Kevin Hart.
The car starts
Yeah,
he
with
had
a
one of those and he
foundation
fucking
of
rolled it off a
roadster shop
cliff.
chassis, which
Just
I
killed
think
himself.
is an incredible starting place. I'll pop the hood just to
Yeah,
give
they
you
took a
guys an
chassis
idea
and then
of the
they
level
made
of
all the
surgery
metal of that whole car.
This is a 572 all aluminum Hemi, pro-charged.
All
making
aluminum
about
Hemi.
2,500 horsepower. Seriously, 2,500 horsepower.
2,500
So all the
horsepower will
internals
kill
have
you.
been done on the motor. It's got
That's
diamond
all it's
forged
like for,
piston.
is to
So
kill
the
you.
Supercharger is a ProCharger F3R.
It's made for you.
direct
You just
charge
bought your
charger.
death. Like if you really try and drive that,
Bonkers. You see the
you,
amount
like,
of
will die.
fabrication that went into the shroud here alone.
Yeah.
20 by 8.
What's
Could
the
you-
cost on it?
imagine. Like people die in like 150 horsepower, like Mazdas and Elantras and
Front wheel, 20 by 15 rear
Door
wheel,
handles. That's
massive.
interesting.
Front end, he's
he doesn't
running
like
at
them actually because
225.
those
Oh.
door handles pop
Tires.
out and they're like really
Tires.
tiny. You know, you got this
Thompson,
fat,
20-inch
beefy,
wide. All around, it's got 6
vicious,
piston
and then you got
bare
this like
brake,
tiny
14-inch
little handle.
cross-drilled rotors. It's got a Tremec
Should have done an
256
actuator and just
built
gone
transmission,
NFC
twin
card
clutch.
and boop, and it just opens when you walk up to it.
Right?
Got
or
this
something.
tiny, like, kind of delicate
If you're going this far.
door handle.
Here, just have the window roll down so you can like open it from the inside.
I'm personally in love with it.
Yeah, he's
That's what I would
Maybe
think.
that
I
pissed
think
off
that would
by
be
saying
awesome.
that. I
Like I have
Like
to
a
roll down my
25
window to get
They're
in.
not cool. I'm just saying it's not
Dukes
my
of Hazzard
flavor.
style?
Dukes of Hazzard style.
As far as exhaust goes,
So he
But-
says I get 2,500 horsepower and I got this dinky little
Deal
door
on it, but I
handle.
know
Right.
They did everything
Yeah.
in-house, so it's a full
great.
Dude, that
power
thing looks
exhaust
so
from the header
clean.
all the way back.
Yeah.
That's what these guys do. There's a touch
An NFC
screen
chip's
that's
pretty.
just-
That's a pretty
it's
cool
just
idea. I guess that's what the Teslas do.
He's got
That's
it
what the
designed
Teslas do,
well
yeah.
done.
Yeah, an
This
NFC.
car- This car, he did so much cool lighting on the inside.
I'm not too much of a fan of it though. I was telling somebody about this. Maybe it was you. But like those cars that look like that, like they're non-practical. Like you can't do anything with it. It just sits there and looks pretty.
No, it's for people with money. You're not gonna go get your groceries in it, or maybe you are. I don't know. But
He's on the interior
yeah,
here.
it's because
It's
you
just like
can.
you
It's
drive
because
that
you
on Sunday.
can.
Can't think of
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't want to take that on the road. Like you don't want rocks getting kicked up, and you don't want to have to clean it, and like it's just not. It's not
That's because you don't have
practical.
enough money.
Yeah.
I guess.
It's
Yeah.
the sixth car in your 6-car
running
garage.
right through the
Yeah.
cockpit of the car.
If you
guess
have enough
that's
money, you like take it out and then you don't care if the rock scrapes. I mean, you do, but you like get it fixed. You just take it somewhere, get it fixed.
I always remember watching the HBO special on people that won the lottery, and these people originally were humble, but then they went way not humble, and the guy was like, "Well, I have to have a car for each day of the week," and it just reminded me of the people that would have a car like this. Then they have their Monday car. This would be your Sunday car, like you said.
Yeah, it's so beautiful though.
Yeah, I
It
like
does look so good. It's worth it.
It was good.
What if you could win one? Let's take a look at the next article for the guy that won that SRT Challenger Hellcat.
See, I like that Hellcat. I actually like that Hellcat better than the other one. I like that body style. It's nice.
They had a math question that they asked, and it was supposed to be like, you know, in order to enter, you have to answer the math question. So the math question was,
He's from New Mexico.
Yeah,
what?
that was a Malloy Dodge over there.
What?
Scroll
Oh
down.
yeah,
Yeah, we know that place.
there you go. So the question was, Santa's sleigh currently runs at 203 miles per hour, but he needs to reach 400 mile per hour. Oh, Goldberg, that's what it was. His sleigh, I don't know. He needs it to reach 400 miles per hour. If Goldberg is delivering presents at an altitude of 5,813.6 feet with the same drag and weight of a 2019 Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat Red-Eye, how much HP would he need to reach 400 miles per hour? So you got to figure that out in order to enter the contest.
Yeah.
Which apparently 17,000 people did. But
And then they drew from those guys.
And then they drew from those guys. Bill
There's a picture of
Goldberg.
Goldberg flexing in front of the Hellcat.
Right? I always wondered, like, him and, like, anybody that wears those shoes.
Oh.
Is that a boot? What is that? It's like
That's good. Yeah. It's some animal died to make those boots. Something.
Those boots are so, like, I don't know. They just always pull my attention. Yeah, I like contests where they make you do something to enter.
Right? This isn't his only Hellcat. He's got one next to it. He's got two. Or not Hellcat, but he's got a Charger. He has another Charger.
Yeah, I saw that. Who knows if that's even his, like, place.
That's the other Charger. I bet it is.
That's pretty nice, though.
Yeah, I like that one better than the other one. The
custom one?
The modified, yeah. I would drive that one first. There's Goldberg's muscles. The muscle car.
See, a car like that though, like I would drive that to get groceries. I drive that around and not care if it got chipped. Like that's a badass car. If you've ever seen one of these in person, they are like very intimidating cars. They're like really big and like bulbous,
loud,
and fucking angry,
loud.
Yeah,
Nothing like Jacob's 6-cylinder.
Yeah, his bitch made ass fucking.
Hey, let's not talk about 6-cylinder Dodges, all right?
Whoa, hey, is that so? One of us drives a 6-cylinder Dodge. Is that what we're talking about?
I do. I drive a 6-cylinder Charger.
Nice. Oh, whoa. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that there's better Chargers out there. I'm just saying
all the Chargers are better Chargers as long as they don't have a 6. It's fine. It's a 3.6.
No, that's good. As long as you're happy. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, I'm happy. It looks good.
It's not a Hellcat, you know. I actually drove my buddy's
for what I could afford. It works.
Drove his Mustang Cobra, and it like spoiled the hell out of me. And then my neighbor bought it wasn't even a 5.0 Mustang. It was just the Mustang, the 3-liter Mustang, and he brought it over. He was all excited. You want to drive it? So I was like, yeah, absolutely. Let's drive around the block. So I drove that, and oh my gosh, they're not the same car. Obviously, they're not the same price.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to pay double for all.
Well, you said one was the Mustang?
Cobra. Yeah, Mustang Cobra versus the stock Mustang, you know, with a few bells and whistles. Not the 5.0, not the Shelby, not the... Yeah. And it was... the Cobra was the first Mustang I'd ever driven, so I didn't realize the difference between like a stock model car and then a super muscle car.
Oh, yeah.
And then you look, and the price difference is literally double. You know,
there's a difference between my V6 Charger and like that Hellcat.
Yeah, absolutely. Or you know, and then I'm into trucks, and there's a big difference between, you know, a regular truck and a truck that's made to tow horse trailers.
Yeah, one's just a truck, and then the other one's like an animal.
Yeah. It's all about what you want to use it for. If you're doing groceries, your Charger's probably the one you want to get. This one's probably slightly overkill.
So remember we were talking about 3D printing and how people like could technically 3D print anything as time went on, as 3D printers got better. Well, the next story we have is this Lamborghini Aventador that this guy and his son are trying to like build out of 3D printed parts. And they're basically all the fabrication I think is being done with 3D printing.
Yeah.
And then they're I think obviously they need like a real frame and engine and all that, and then just the bodywork is going to be 3D printed. But still, you're talking about like making your own car and then making it look like a Lamborghini Aventador, which is like way cheaper than
me as a child.
It's a kit car.
It's a kit car, yeah. Yeah, you can make any kit car look like any real car that you want with 3D printing.
So how do you do it? How do they do it out of that little 3D printing box? Little pieces by little.
You know,
pieces?
that's interesting. If it's plastic pieces, they might like 3D print it like in parts and then melt them together, like fuse them somehow. I had wondered the same thing. And you know what else sucks? Is that like Lamborghini. I kind of am nitpicking this, but Lamborghini sent these guys an Aventador for Christmas. And in this commercial, he like takes his son out to the garage, and you know, before he opens up the garage, he leans over to his son. He whispers, you know, he's like, "I think I got it done, right?" And then it rolls up, and it's like a real Lamborghini Aventador.
Yeah,
which is like,
right now.
I'm not a fan of that, the way that played out. No, that doesn't make sense to me. Like they spent all this time, because they never finished theirs. That's not theirs. Like, that's just a Lamborghini Aventador. Granted, it's awesome, but it's like, yeah, but what about mine? Like, I don't want this. Like, this isn't mine.
Yeah, you know what? I think I would take it. You know, just cause.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a car.
Well, yeah, they were loaned it for a week, I think.
Oh, so they didn't get.
Yeah, they didn't.
You're right. I don't want to be loaned. I don't want to be loaned something I can't. Yeah, no. Then you're spoiled for life, and nothing ever measures up to.
Yeah, now your shitty kit car is like thrown to the wayside. Let's not finish that because I've had the real thing.
Yeah, no. I didn't know that. I thought they gave them.
No.
Oh, that's amazing. Oof. Is this a hydrogen yacht? Is that what we're?
Oh yeah, that's what we're leading up to.
Wow. I'm gonna jump right in there.
Yeah, let's move right on to the yacht. Look at that yacht too. It's awesome looking.
Right? Oh no. Okay. Pointy. What is this? It exists?
I don't think it exists. It's a design.
Yacht and architecture design. It's a model just over.
It looks beautiful.
feet.
That's sweet. I don't know anything about yachts.
Yeah, looks like the Nautilus from that League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh yeah, you're right. It does. Yep.
It looks like a dream that no one in this fucking at SSP can afford.
No.
Oh my god.
Never,
yeah.
ever.
Whoa. Look at that like staircase with a pool sitting in the middle of it. And a quad chopper. So maybe that is possible, I guess. I always thought the choppers have to have a rear rotor to keep them from spinning out of control. I guess if you have 4 blades, you probably don't need that.
Yeah, drones pull it off, right?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that drones do it. So I guess
That's not even a quad. That's like a 6
Thing's awesome.
blade.
Oh, it is a 6 blade. I like that. I guess anything's possible with your imagination. Like we have a yacht that looks nuts. Let's have a 6-bladed helicopter that go with it with LED lights on it. Nice.
So this whole, with the name Aqua, it would be the first ship to run on hydrogen and fuel cell technology, with the only byproduct being water. Let's see. The system depends on 2 28-ton vacuum-sealed tanks of liquid hydrogen that would be stored at a cold temperature of negative 253 degrees Celsius.
Can't imagine what could go wrong there.
Yeah. Titanic
Has to be this,
V2.
Yeah.
Engine.
This explosive chemical that stored at this exact temperature. It couldn't even get the Titanic from sinking. It used steam. I'm not thinking that's a good idea. You're just gonna see this mushroom cloud over in the distance. Can be this thing,
right?
The only thing what I see is that if the government doesn't have something like this, it's because it's not stable.
Right.
That's
Well, they do have nuclear
powered. Yeah,
nuclear powered submarines.
they have nuclear reactors on their warships. But I mean, if you have a boat that can run off of the water, it's on all day, all night. That's unlimited power.
Well, that's the thing too. Is like it. So it has to be filled with liquid hydrogen. Is like, or just hydrogen for. Like pure hydrogen is hard to extract, which is why we never switched that, and it's like extremely explosive.
Well, liquid hydrogen, because of to turn a gas into a liquid, that's its liquid.
yeah, that's
point.
what all the cold temperature is for.
Yep. That's solid
But-
hydrogen. What does it freeze at? Kelvin?
Negative 423. I thought that was like absolute zero.
Yeah, Kelvin is absolute zero. Is 423 absolute zero?
I think. Yeah, let me see. Absolute zero.
I like the
Isn't
steppy
it
waterfall.
absolute zero where all matter stops.
Negative 459.
Ah, so it's not quite there. Underachievers.
It's zero on the Kelvin scale.
I don't know how you make
is this?
something that cold. Vacuum sealed, something kind of reverse osmosis, something.
The ship is insane.
Something's playing audio.
One of the biggest pollutants of the ocean is cruise ships. They're like one of the largest producers of pollution on the ocean.
Where'd you pull up
right
that
now.
fact?
But could be wrong, I guess. But
Where'd you get that?
Yeah,
I
oh,
could find
hey.
it. It's fucking
I feel like we
it's
haven't
good
talked
to-
about that before. Well, now I know, and now we know the way to fix it. Hydrogen.
Yeah. It's actually from Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Who? Joe Rogan and who?
He's
No,
talking to somebody.
somebody. All right. Yeah, it's pretty cool, but it's if it ever gets built, why don't they start small scale? Why are they gonna go for like the most ridiculous thing?
Oh, whoa.
Can't we just start with like a hydrogen powered like boat? Anyways, they'll 3D print this out soon. Let's move to games. There's a Modern Warfare glitch, which when I had it, it was the only thing I had in game. So now it seems like kind of pointless to talk about. But let's talk about it anyways, because that's what we're here to do. Okay.
Shipping. It's one of the biggest. According to the WWF.
WWF? Like the WWF or?
Yeah, World Wildlife Federation.
Oh, okay.
Mm,
World Wrestling?
they can't call it that anymore. It's been,
Yeah, they got sued way back in the day.
it's been taken.
Yeah.
By the World Wildlife Federation?
The World Wildlife Federation sued the WWF for that acronym and won, which is craziness.
Is that real?
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, that's why the
100%.
WWE. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's where wow, what a small world. That's where we get our facts about yachts and boats.
Yeah, it's all full circle. It's,
It's
all part of the
all
same
full
thing.
circle.
Well, so this Call of Duty glitch isn't even an actual map. It's just a filler
Basically,
map.
it's filler for the, but they speculate that this is all the maps like next to each other, all on like the same map. So, they believe that this is what the Battle Royale map is going to be. It's all the ground war maps and some other maps. It's basically the template for what ground wars
Are you
Battle
excited for this to happen?
I want to play Call of Duty Battle Royale again. I liked Black Ops Battle Royale, Blackout, but I don't know, man. I almost uninstalled Modern Warfare today. I was like, like that.
I think this genre's dying. Just not a big battle royale type of person. I like it's random and it's unique every time, but it's like, ugh, it's repetitious.
It's such a grind. It's a
grind. Yeah, it's a terrible grind. It's disheartening because you like everyone's equal, and then you die, and you're like, well, I'm not equal anymore, and it's frustrating. It's heavily more frustrating than anything else. Because like you could all start loaded up, and then you die. It's because you suck. But if you don't start with anything, and everyone starts with nothing, and then you die, it's because that person got lucky and you didn't. And it's like, oh, that sucks. I mean, I guess it could be better, right?
Well, there's that, and like, there's also like who spots who first. There's so many things that play into a battle royale, and like, you know, where did they drop? Where's the circle moving? Like, that's all random too. So is it luck? Sometimes it's, you know, you just get caught. So you just get caught with your pants down. You know, it's just not your lucky day. I think it is a lot luck, but it's, you know, there's a ways to try and, you know, give yourself less moments where luck would end you, but no matter what you do, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, to some degree. Yeah.
Somebody's gonna be laying down. In
I gotta give credit though, because you play games like PUBG, and a majority of the reason you die in PUBG is because the game's terrible. Like, you're either getting glitched or
then you don't put as much weight into every life, and you have a little bit more fun with it.
You're getting shot by guns, getting clipped, or you're getting, you know, desynced, or your bike's bouncing around like a basketball for some unknown reason, and all this really goofy crap that's going on. You're getting stuck in furniture that hasn't populated yet, because why not?
Yeah, and then you got to pull a bike in to get on the bike to get out of the unpopulated furniture. But yeah, I almost think that's the key to making a great game, is some amount of, like, having people not give a fuck. If you build in some amount of, like, making it not serious, essentially, you know?
They're
like
not taking it serious.
Yeah. You have to build it in so that people don't take it serious. But they play it serious. You know, they're like, I can win, and, like, it does come down to skill, but every now and then we're just gonna, like, get fucked, and it's gonna be funny, though. Like, somehow, I don't know. There's a charisma to games, I think, that people don't...
I think the secret to Battle Royale is to let people be able to play it, you know, have some system built in where people can play it for a little bit before they die. I think the major frustration is when people die the second they hit the ground, and then it's not fun.
Yeah, but someone's got to be the one that dies first.
Always. But you got to have some kind of system, some kind of thing that you need to do before you die, or there's got to be a way to level yourself up for the people that
yeah, I guess it would be cool.
Skilled.
It'd be cool if they had, like, an organically populating BR. That'd be cool. I mean, I guess you can't, because some people can stack out and kill the new players. But it'd be interesting if they could integrate a system where people could jump in and jump out of a BR match, like, organically in between, you know, a round or something like that. That'd be pretty cool. You know, hop in, you know, do whatever, and then hop out. Kind of like maybe there's, you know, NPCs in the Battle Royale, and you can hop in and control them if you come in late, and, like, you know, kind of get your feet wet, and then
you start up a match, you can populate the bots, but you can also escape with their loot.
Oh wow!
Escape from Tarkov, yeah. You can just hop in and play as a bot, so it's, like, really not, and, like, all the bots play alongside you. They don't shoot at you, but you don't get any experience. But you can take the loot.
Game, right?
It is in beta, yeah, and it's not through Steam.
Yeah, it's like it's got its own site.
I like the concept that they're running there.
That is a good idea. I don't like that they're not on Steam, but that's a good idea.
Yeah, neither do I.
I like trust Steam. I trust Steam with my life. I wouldn't, like, go anywhere else outside of Steam.
You're gonna download this game from somewhere in Russia, and you're gonna love it.
No, we're good. I'll stick on Steam. Let's stay in my little, like, walled off fucking community.
Yeah, hasn't been tested, hasn't been approved.
Get the hell out of my fucking computer.
It's an alpha. It's not even a beta. It's just you're downloading it from some.
Well, what about, like, Rockstar Launcher?
Nope.
Rockstar. I have Rockstar Launcher.
No.
Yeah, Rockstar. Yeah, Rockstar's Rockstar. They're well established.
Yeah.
U.S. company.
So, on the subject of Rockstar and their launcher, GTA 5 has had some riots going on.
Yeah. Well, that's becomes the latest background of Hong Kong protests.
So,
It's
basically, people are dressing.
Media is reflecting the real world, right?
Well, no, the people playing the game have started, like, dressing like Hong Kong protesters, as well as, like, the Hong Kong riot police. And so then they have these, like, skirmishes.
They're taking sides.
They're taking sides within the game, and then they, like, fight it out.
That's like the cowboy, the Hong Kong version of Cowboys and Indians.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's the GTA version of Cowboys and Indians.
Yeah.
Virtual reality is like starting to replace the physical like reality. It's getting fucking weird.
Well, anybody
but it
that's
was
streaming
starting to
it
change.
is like using it as a way to like raise awareness, you know? I guess.
Yeah, and
but
the awareness should be raised. I like it. I think it's good. I mean, I don't know who would want either side. I can't imagine.
I'm all about the police.
Yeah, yeah.
No freedoms.
Yeah, yeah, no freedoms. You take them away. You
Take 'em
are
away, beat you
Chinese,
to death.
yeah,
And
yeah.
you will listen.
Yeah. I mean, it's complicated what they're going through there because they were handed back to the Chinese officials, and the Chinese are now trying to institute their laws when these people have been under a different law structure for so long.
yeah.
So
That's craziness. It's absolutely craziness. It's nuts how Hong Kong wasn't part of China. That just blows my
no,
mind.
it was British. It's like the other half of the world, and slowly.
Yeah,
surely,
well, they colonized like a lot of places they shouldn't have.
everywhere. India. I mean, think about India.
Yeah, they've ruined
Yeah.
that place.
I don't know how you are.
India and
take you and
Africa.
Take
they
you and 100 of your
trashed.
friends and just roll up on a continent and be like, you know what? All of you are us in the name
Yeah.
of the Lord. And
No, you're not us. You're less than us.
yeah,
And you
Here's
live
our
in our
disease.
place now, yeah.
yeah, you wipe them out with your smallpox, and then
Colonization was like, America was like,
right. But we
brutal
rebelled.
as hell.
Everybody rebelled eventually. That's why they are now just a little island, or alienating themselves.
We
by
rebelled
doing
after we
Brexit.
like ransacked the hell out of it. We ransacked this place. This is our place.
That's right.
If anyone's given Indian smallpox,
That's
it's us.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anyone's taking anybody's land away from anybody, then
It's us.
it's us, and we're gonna do it forcefully.
We're
Hey,
that's how
yeah.
British we are, really. Americans are the
That's
true
our- It's
Britons.
our manifest destiny to take your land and put you in unfertile deserts and watch
Right?
your people die.
What do you mean? Miles and miles of the same color. It's beautiful. You're gonna have
But
so
you know
much
what?
fun over there.
To America's credit, we are the only country that's actually given land back instead of making people assimilate. We're the only civilized country that's actually given the land back and said, okay, you don't have to be American. You can be Navajo.
We
Here's
gave
your
it all
land.
back.
We
Crazy.
haven't given it all back. But we're every other country forces their.
We gave them the
natives
land.
to
We
assimilate.
didn't want it, and just to like feel good about ourselves.
I'm trying to find the glass
Silver
half full
lining.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so because normally countries, they take over the people and they say, "Well, you're us now," and if you don't like it, then whatever the consequences.
Well, yeah, you know the story.
Yeah, you know what happens.
Yeah.
But we're-
Trail of Tears.
I'd like to think that we're better, and eventually, eventually we can do right by that. I mean, they do have casinos now, and that's good, and they have their own. You go to like
Smokes.
out here in New Mexico,
They're dark
Arizona.
eyes.
They have their own land, they have their own laws, they have their own constitutions, they have their own government.
Yeah.
So
It's lawless. You don't ever get caught on a res, especially being a white.
They
person.
have a game, like this land is our land or something.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's on Steam, Epic. So
Of
trust
course, it's on Steam. Steam doesn't say no to anything either. Like they're the most open place I've ever been to. Like you can name yourself something that's from far off racist as possible or derogatory. You can publish a game that has no substance at all. They don't care about anything. They're just like, fuck it. Use our platform. Have at it. Have a fucking blast, and we'll protect you to
They
the end of the
embody
year.
like the people that play their. You know what I'm saying? Like they embody their customer. It's weird. Like you're
Yeah.
all like 15-year-old racists. Like go have at it. Like, have fun. Like that's what
penises and
runs it.
fucking
too.
asses.
Yeah.
Go for it. You can.
Speaking
that's
of
funny.
games, I wonder if you guys have played any of the best games of the decade according to IGN.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at that list right now. I've played most of them.
I wonder how many Epic has. Not Civ 5. You play Black Ops? No, you didn't even play that one. I didn't play that one. Played New Vegas, Mass Effect 2,
Yeah,
Minecraft, 2K11 I didn't play. Red Dead Redemption was good. StarCraft 2 sucks. Super Mario
Oh,
Galaxy
yeah.
sucks. Super Meat Boy is fine.
Super Mario Galaxy was amazing. You didn't have that.
I didn't play it because I don't play Nintendo games because they're for children.
No, they're not. They're for everyone. They're for families.
Every child deserves a Nintendo product.
Nintendo is awesome. Nintendo started as a card company.
Nintendo's like Disney. Like,
No,
Yeah.
they're not. Not like they're very loving and caring. Disney's not.
Yeah, it's a cold dark.
Disney just
Disney owns-
has the
Disney
facade
owns
of loving and
ESPN.
caring.
Yeah,
Disney's
they're
the like lady that laughs like and cries on the inside every time at the same exact time. That's what Disney reminds me of. Like,
So,
oh,
This is a good
I'm
rundown.
broken.
Some really game changing games if you think about it. So like I'm looking at like Telltale's Walking Dead. That
Oh
started
God,
a
I
whole
hate
genre.
that.
It started a whole
I
genre.
hate
of
that
games.
genre. So
You
stupid.
haven't played it. You haven't played it. You
I have.
looked at it. You
My
hated
girl
it
has
the
played
second-
every single one. All
Yeah,
of them.
see, so they're not
What is
yours.
it?
Clearly, it's Telltale's The Walking Dead. Any of the Telltale series.
The like
Oh,
narrative
yeah.
games is so stupid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was great. I played all of them. My family sat in the room together. We bonded. It was amazing.
Jesus. Well, just watch a show. All right.
Grand Theft Auto, obviously. That's a
Yep.
that's a
The
defining.
rumor mill's running. 6 is
Genre?
coming. He said
Oh,
next
yeah.
year. This year.
The Last of Us. That was a hell of a game. And that
Yeah, that was a game changer for sure.
Yeah, it
That
was
put Sony like ahead a little bit.
powerful games. I'm sure.
Yeah, that was The Last of Us? No, it was Uncharted. That was like the beginning of their
Yeah. And
Big
that's
Yeah, that's by
exclusives,
Naughty
right?
Dog, oddly
Right.
enough.
yeah,
It's
Naughty
Naughty
Dog.
Dog tore it up.
Crash
the
Bandicoot.
Rise of the Rocket. Here you go, Rocket League. You can all agree that was right. Rocket League
Yeah, it
that's a
was.
good one, man.
Very simple.
still is.
Very simple
Raw
game.
core. It's a
Mhm.
core game, you know. Just get what you need
Wh-
to like get shit done.
Witcher. Witcher 3 was really.
God of War more than Witcher. God of War
Witcher.
is a great game.
Witcher is great. I had him doing
Some Smash
encounters with many women, and it was fun to experience.
Super
Witcher.
Smash Brothers was on here. I like that.
Super Smash Brothers is good.
They should let Resident Evil die. I don't know why they keep bringing that back.
Right? They
Should
just I don't know. And they keep making
don't even know
it
what's
feel
going
clunky.
on.
What do you guys feel about Overwatch being the competitive gamers you are?
It's a good game. It's actually a really competitive game. I liked it when I played it. I liked it when it very first came out.
Mhm.
Now I couldn't get back into it because I'm just getting
So
steamrolled by
sweaty,
some
yeah.
10-year-old kid. Yeah, been fucking losing his mind for 10,000 hours, but it was a good game. It was a solid, well-rounded. Money was dumped into it, like competitive game, and it's Blizzard, so they have like they listen to their people, they take the advice, and they build around that. And it's just the same thing with like Counter-Strike or what was the other Source game that they did with the guys that were like all goofy. It was like a cartoony kind of cell shaded game.
It's not a Source game though.
It was on the orange box.
Team Fortress.
Team Fortress, yeah. It's one of those
That was a
type
great
of like
game.
just put together well, like ironed all the kinks out, like figured out what people want. You know, that's I didn't see Halo on here. Was Halo on here?
I think it's the past decade. Maybe you
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
past decade.
Yeah. But I see. Like, have you guys played The Witness?
I have it, never played it. It was free at one point, and I downloaded it.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. game.
Terrible.
It's tough.
Terrible.
Yeah, it doesn't have guns. Yeah, no leaderboards, just you and your puzzle. Sorry.
It's a puzzle. Yeah, it's a puzzle game.
It's a
It's,
great game. It's a tranquil, beautiful place to spend your time, says the description of the game.
that's not
agree.
how I want to spend my
Yeah.
time.
It was quite enjoyable for me.
I'm not a tranquil.
I'll qualify that. Quite enjoyable for me. For the cerebral, tranquil folks over here that enjoy the calm peacefulness of a puzzle game. It was for me.
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's like a lot of. I feel like there's a lot of games, like No Bad Company too. How long did that come out?
That was wow, long time ago.
Was that more than a decade?
I think it was 2007.
Ooh, Zelda,
Excuse me.
Zelda
Sorry.
Breath of the Wild. That was an amazing game.
You know
On
what?
the Switch genre.
I wonder what that would have been like if it wasn't for children. you know?
It would have been any different.
A
They had
rated R
it.
version of Zelda?
2010. It was 2010. I don't have it on here.
If this list sucks.
This list sucks.
That company redefined like multiplayer, massive multiplayer experiences. That
Yeah.
was like the game that did it. Battlefield Bad Company, because it took what Battlefield was and they made it as serious as they wanted to, but it was very
Talk about charisma.
yeah, I guess that's a good way to put it.
Oh, yeah,
Destruction was top notch. I mean, literally everything
The
was
audio?
destroyable.
Ooh.
The audio was through the roof. It was a great fucking game.
Bad Company 2 came out in 2010. Bad Company 1 came out in 2008. I wonder if that used the Frostbite engine.
No.
Oh, it did.
They didn't. Frostbite. What?
Yeah,
thought
it says
Frostbite was
engine
on-
Frostbite.
No, I don't think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nuts. That was a solid game.
They're just
Really
guessing.
solid game. It was clunky at first compared to like Halo or anything else, but you realize why it was the way that it was. They ran the script on purpose so that everybody was seeing the same thing. You shot and you hit, like there wasn't lag. The servers didn't choke. Like everything worked in tandem. 24 people all saw the same thing happen at the same time, which was as a feat because nowadays you have fucking. I mean, no one's doing that. Even Battlefield, as they are, the people that built the engine and designed that principle don't even use that same philosophy. I mean, you could see tracer rounds like clear across the map as good, bright as the sun, and everybody saw them. I mean, you like knew where you were shooting, but they don't. I don't do that anymore. I don't know why.
Yeah. So, Bad Company 2008 was the first game to use the Frostbite engine. So I guess that's why it's not on the list. 2008.
Until fucking fuckboy EA took it and put it in fucking Madden.
Yeah.
They're like, we're gonna have
Rory and literally
Yeah.
everything that was never designed to be in the Frostbite engine.
complete and utter abuse of a fantastically fantastically put together program. Like,
you guys' nostalgia is fucking like drippy wet here.
no, it's bullshit. The fucking EA fucks everything up. Bitches. I was watching a video about
the
EA.
lighting and just the way that it captures your
They,
imagination, the crumbling
they
of
did
the
this thing.
buildings.
Yeah,
I'm really enjoying this.
They-
I say Zelda, and you guys are like fuck that, and they were
Fuck
Bad
that.
Company too. Whoa, yeah.
They no, you know, a beautiful game was like Skyrim and Oblivion. Both of those were really gorgeous
Skyrim, yeah.
games.
Those were
You know they're making Oblivion using the Skyrim like engine.
Yeah, Sky Oblivion.
Sky Oblivion,
That's
yeah.
yeah,
That'll be cool.
But that was one thing. Like Elder Scrolls did such a
Yeah.
good job. That's why the Zelda game wasn't. It for what it was gorgeous, but they didn't have the raw power that like the computers did with Skyrim and you know the output potential. Because there was all these different places. Like you would go up north and it was snowing, and you'd go to the south and it was foggy, and like the air was heavy, and there was cliffs, and it's like you don't get that in Zelda. It's just not, the engine power is not the same. It's a great game. It's just not.
Yeah, but
They don't
Oblivion
pouring
was
in the
your,
fucking
was your
graphics.
first experience with Elder Scrolls, wasn't it?
Yeah, Oblivion was.
Well,
That blew my
Morrowind
mind to
wasn't
be
the
able to
same.
see.
Yeah.
Morrowind wasn't. No.
Morrowind was amazing.
But it wasn't the same.
It was the
Yeah.
beginning of that genre.
Yeah,
I
it was.
remember playing Morrowind and being like you had levity potions, and you could like take them and you could levitate, so you could walk up to the second story of a building. It was mind blowing to me. And like it had dust storms where you when you're trying to walk from one town to the next, like you couldn't see, and a lot of it had to do with the way that they had to cover their shitty drawing.
Yeah, it was
Graphics.
kind of the R&D for like what Skyrim
Yeah.
or what Oblivion like was.
Yeah, Oblivion. But Oblivion. If you played Morrowind in its truest form on PC, Oblivion's like Morrowind for dummies. It really is, because it's way dumbed down and commercialized. Morrowind was epic and hardcore, true role playing game material. Like you wanted to find the story, you had to go find the story. There was no waypoints. There was nobody pointing you in some direction. There was no.
Yeah, I started playing
It was
that game
rough.
Outward, and like that's very similar. Like it's not dumbed down at all. It's just like go out and figure it out.
Yeah. And so like to me, I think Oblivion was great, but it was their first like blockbuster version of an Elder Scroll, and then Skyrim added more levels of complexity. So my hope is the next
Added
one,
it back.
6 or whatever. Yeah, I hope it's 6
All
is
I
more
want is
arcane.
co-op.
Yeah. Wasn't that what?
All
I
I
don't
want.
know about that. I want it, but it's like that game's not. It's not the way that the story's built. Like I feel like playing by yourself is still like they still know how to do it right.
Well,
You know what I mean?
discovering
Like,
things is a big part of the game.
yeah, that's and you can't discover things with a friend the same way as you
What?
can by yourself. It's not as immersive. I don't
We can
feel
discover
like.
it together.
Yeah, no,
Dude.
no. I want to.
Yeah, but
blow
at
my socks
least
off
how
on myself.
great would it be to like come in?
I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I just
Yeah.
don't. I don't know if they could pull it off properly. Because even look at like the MMO version of it is kind of like, you almost feel rushed. You're like, this isn't like at all like Skyrim or Oblivion.
Yeah.
But there's something to be said, I guess. I like what I was gonna say earlier is walking out of like some of the towns in Oblivion and looking and being able to see like, all of Cyrodiil and be able to see the tower in the middle, and it's like, holy shit, like that was an epic feeling. Like there's back then for an Xbox that was like, oh wow, and then like having all these weird like little nuances like theft and sneaking and assassinations, and you know what I mean? And you go rob people blind and then fence all their stuff. Like that's just really cool. I mean, I don't know if they could get away with that as a cooperative.
They have to. Dude, because like, think
then
of
what's
all
the
moments that
limitations?
you.
Then were they gonna have 4-player or 2-player, or are they gonna do 3-player, or are they gonna
2.
do 8-player? Like, you're never gonna get anyone. No one's gonna be satisfied. I think they should just keep it single player.
Ugh.
Just deal with it that way. Because if you have 2-player, then you're gonna be like, well, I wish my other 2 friends could play.
No.
And if you have 4-player, you're gonna be like, well, I wish all of my 8 friends can play. And then it's gonna be an MMO sooner or later at some point. And you're gonna be like, well, I guess all 3,000 of us can get together.
Well, it makes
Pound
sense
out
to
a
have
fucking
2
instant.
because they already had like you had a companion. You know what I'm saying? So I think 2 would be fine.
So I mean, in the same vein, we have the Fallout series, which is similar to Elder Scrolls, just in a different area.
That may have been a dry run. For what the next one's coming up with. It's like Fallout 76 was like, if it works, then we can pull it off in Oblivion or Elder Scrolls 6, and it didn't work, so maybe they can't do it.
Like the lifeless world where you and your friends can run around doing nothing.
Yeah, I don't know that people would want that.
It would cause you to drink. What whiskey would you drink, though?
If you were bored to tears in a Fallout or Oblivion MMO, what would you drink? Whiskey, for sure.
Yeah, how about one of these 7 whiskeys of the world?
Let's see what they are. Can we be?
You have a French malt whiskey in a French look. I mean, that looks like a French bottle to me.
Mm-hmm. I guess. I suppose.
Looks very French. Very.
Crown's in there. Crown Royal Noble Collection.
Very touchy.
Oh, that stuff's good.
It's aged. So that French one is aged in rare cognac casks.
There you go.
50-year cognac casks.
Is it made in cognac?
Nope.
No, it isn't actually.
I don't know. Let's see. I want to say no, but it very well could be.
Alfred Gerard.
Doesn't stress that it's aged in cognac. It's probably aged. I don't know. Why wouldn't it be? I guess. They're already aging cognac. Might as well like throw the whiskey barrels in there too.
Right. So it's
no, you're talking about cognac France, or you're talking about like
cognac France? Yeah.
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 That's why it's called cognac, because it comes from cognac, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just like all the Napa
Fucking
Valley
French.
stuff.
In Napa Valley, they just bastardize everything.
Snobs.
Whoa.
I bet you that's one of the best like whiskeys you'll ever taste.
That's what you got to learn when you go for your W set. You got to learn the French regions.
A fucking bunch of pussies.
Yeah. You have to put your blind hatred aside for one test and and remember what a Côte de Rhônes is and all that other stuff. You have to say Beaujolais villages and the French tone.
So then we have South Africa's got basically a what is that, single grain?
South Africa. That is a big pile of
Well, they say it's
Meth.
aged in first fill bourbon casks for 5 years because of the extreme heat and climate.
So
which
this is why this
accelerates
is
the aging.
this is what gets me gets me twitchy about that. So it's South Africa. This is apartheid whiskey. There is no way native South Africans are making whiskey. Nuh-uh. No, these guys, these are
Oh,
the
yeah.
these are the old school British apartheids that have this is 100
James
years.
Sedgwick.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He
Distillery.
comes from this is plantation whiskey.
Mhm.
Except the South African version.
Well, yeah, you don't think about that, all right? You just
No.
taste
just
the
saw-
whiskey. Dang.
Right when I was like, oh my god, I saw the label and I was like, oh
That French whiskey is $155. Not bad, actually. All right.
South African blood, sweat, and tears. Go ahead.
yeah. A lot of people died.
Built our country. It's not good enough for our whiskey? Jesus, Dave. You trying to say it's not good because it's from South Africa? You
I
savage.
guess I'm off my soapbox. I had to jump on there.
Yeah. All right, then we got Mexico
Hey,
whiskey.
there's no apartheid there. There's just beheadings and cartel drug wars. But we can drink that. It's okay.
Uses Mexican corn.
Oh.
The I don't know how to say that. Oxycan
Mm,
heirloom corn.
Where is it?
The
Maize?
slide 4.
yeah. I don't know what that means. No. It'd be Oaxacan.
Oaxacan? Is that how you say it?
Yeah. Yeah, the X is silence. It's like
They're
Mexico.
doing it because of the agave shortage.
Yeah, there's a big agave shortage is a big deal. So like there's
I didn't even know that.
mainstream tequilas aren't being made. So like right now you can't buy or order like an Hornitos 175 because or a Sauza 175 because they have to allocate their agave.
Jeez.
I think it's
because all the
Oaxacan-
vegans-
Oaxacan? I think that's how you say that.
It's the vegans. Now we hate
Mhm.
vegans. Wait, why would it be I'm kidding. But why would it be about the
Gluten free,
vegans?
like yeah, because agave is like gluten free and all that. They use it for like cooking and sweetening, and instead of
Mhm.
sugar,
Yeah.
it's a sugar substitute.
Well, it's a honey substitute. Agave is sweet like honey.
Well, yeah, because they're vegan, they don't want to use any animal products, so
Mm.
it's all agave.
It's a vegan revolution. It's
Gluten
causing a
free, like animal cruelty
killer
free.
shortage.
hmm And there's like bee shortage. So
But
is that
have you
still
seen
going
It's
on?
the-
pronounced Oaxen.
Have you seen the humidors that have
Jesus,
to
really?
the
Oaxacan.
humidors
Yeah,
that
it's
actually
Oaxacan.
farm it? That's brutal.
Aachen?
Oaxacan heirloom corn.
Oaxacan. That's what I'm saying.
Allspice flavor in there.
Yeah, it's like it's Aztec. That's what it is.
Oh, you're
there's
right.
Australia,
Aztec
Starward
heirloom.
Nova.
Oaxacan.
Australia's burning to the ground. We're allowed to drink
I
that.
have that bottle.
Yeah, it's that one. Yeah.
I have that
What is
bottle.
it?
It's good.
Have you tried it?
It's good.
Is it smooth?
Oh.
Nice.
What are you tasting when you sip it?
It's
Before you
on
say
the-
those notes, I am going to depart. It is past my bedtime at this point. I'm getting stared at. So I will leave you guys with this for the rest. And I will
Take
see you
care.
again. Adios.
So yeah, it tastes like a nice single malt, like peated, smoked,
Okay.
and then you get like I don't think it's aged very long. I think it's only aged a couple years. In 2 years, I think it was. In red wine barrels.
You even say that a cohesive youthful whiskey.
Nah, I'm not gonna read off of there. I'm not even looking at it right now. I don't want to like.
Yeah,
Totally.
I was just validating. I was validating what your.
Oh,
what
okay,
your,
yeah.
Your notes are saying, yeah.
So it's not too peated. Like I don't really like scotches because of how like strong they usually are.
Mhm.
And then it's like sweetened up with that red wine. It's so nice. It's such a nice balance. Like the contrast ends up like really balanced.
So does it give you some kind of like body to it? Because it's red wines are probably like a full bodied type of wine. Is that what you're feeling?
It gives
Kind of
you a
like
little
that
body, probably a little like you know,
warmness to it.
yeah. It actually like almost always feels cool. It's like a cool, like refreshing. I don't know what it is. It's What do they say? Like buttery or sweet or something?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
definitely like sweet. It's a really sweet, light Scotch. It's not really like really sweet, but it's like, because like you said, the full body of like the red wine, so it's not just sweet, but it's definitely like fruity.
We were talking about, we had the triple malt at the beginning, and I was like, what makes a single malt and a triple malt? And it's the different distilleries that they get their barley from.
Yeah, three
Yeah,
different malts.
I didn't realize that. So it's a blended whiskey.
Right.
Blended barley whiskey.
Well, what is
Scotch has
Johnny
to be made
Walker's a blended Scotch whiskey, right?
I believe so. Yeah. I don't know about them because they're the other guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't done Know Thy Enemy quite yet. Yeah. I'm still learning. There's so much to learn, and this is only a limited amount of time to taste. Resources. Can't taste
limited resources, for sure. Let's see. We got India.
India. There's no negative thing going on there right now that I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, off the top of your head, I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
Paul John from
Paul John's
India.
Classic slick cast. Yeah. Never mind.
Never mind. Malted barley in his bottle is for Scotch drinkers. Bold drums. Yeah, see. Tasting notes of honey and licorice, though.
Scotch to me tastes like more watered down. I don't know if that's the right word, but it doesn't have the fullness of like a good. I like bourbon because I like bourbon's fullness. I like feeling the oak in the cask in there,
Yeah.
The sweetness of corn. And so when I drink a Scotch, I'm always like, it's too light for
I
as
don't
much
know what Scotch you're drinking.
poignancy that it's hitting me with, right? So suggest me some and I'll
I don't drink that many. I have a Glenmorangie that's 10-year aged in old whiskey barrels and then 2-year in sherry barrels, and I have
I've done like Dewar's 12-year, which is good.
Yeah. What else? Johnny Walker. You could try some Johnny.
No.
They have like their double black. That's like a full body. That'll get you.
Glenlivet.
Yeah, I've never had Glenlivet. I haven't had that many scotches, but
Glenlivet's good. But yeah, it's definitely something I want to try because I that's what I drink now. If I drink it's bourbons and whiskeys. So
I like bourbon. I can't go wrong with bourbon, man.
No, yeah, not at all.
Canada's Crown Royal, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Taiwan. Oh, look at that.
Collected 13-year-old blender's mash though. That's wow. I didn't realize that's what that was. Yeah, that's that we have that.
$150. That's not bad.
Huh. From the Taiwan Sherry Oak Whiskey. That's interesting. Jeez. Limited distance sherry matured bottling. This iteration.
I'd be wondering, is that a single malt? Can't see from the picture. Oh God, where'd it go?
I can't see it. It's blurry.
Single malt. Yeah, single malt. I wonder if they smoke it, if they peat it or not.
Hints of marzipan and rich fruit. I don't know.
While vanilla and plum pop on your palate. I love a plum. Love plum flavored everything. Red wine with like a plum hint is like huge for me. I love that.
Oh, so you're like that would be like a Pinot Noir.
Yeah, Noirs are good. I really like cabs, you can't go wrong there.
Yeah, I'm a cab drinker.
All right, now let's talk about the way that you should properly taste your whiskey.
All right, this is what I need to know.
Okay. All right, Glenmorangie. I heard someone say Glenmorangie the other day, so I don't even know what it is.
I think it's Glenmorangie. I think you're right.
I say Glenmorangie. It sounds better, anyways.
Yeah, we'll call it that.
They have a star brand that they make or whatever. A star bottle. I forget what. It's been like a week since I read this. Let me see if I can find the specialty of the star. Okay, a limited edition single malt whiskey entirely matured in oak casks from the Ozark Mountains in Missouri. That's right.
Oh,
They have like an Ozark Mountain tree farm.
what is this? What is it?
Glenmorangie, a star.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was looking at this Glen Ring. Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
And it's barreled at 100 proof. So,
Hmm.
all right. So this guy says, look at the color.
Mhm.
If it's
Tulip
lighter, it
taster.
might be sweeter. You're probably expecting sweeter. If it's darker, it's older.
Oh, that is that glass. Scotty's got those glasses in his house.
Yeah, of course he does.
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't drink, what's he drink out of it? Like water?
No,
Milk?
but other people were drinking out of it during the Christmas party. That's what
Oh
it was.
yeah, flexing.
Yeah, he was
Going off.
catered. Nice.
Also, what I thought was interesting about this is how he smells it.
Mhm.
He breathes through his mouth in order to, like, just get a little bit into the nose. Like when you breathe through your mouth, still a little bit comes through the nose, and you smell just that little bit. So you're getting more of the hints rather than like the full force of the, alcohol smell and all that, which is pretty cool. And then he takes a sip. He holds it for a second on the tongue to try and like let it evenly work onto the taste buds before drinking. I guess.
It smells like creme brulee if you smell it correctly.
Yeah, that sounds awesome, but I bet it doesn't.
Mm.
I don't know where we talked about tasting notes in SSP 8. I think you had to go at the end there.
Yeah.
But like people get so crazy with the tasting notes, like there's the marzipan and like the buttery and like the, you know what I'm saying? Like some things like I'm just not capable.
We talked about it a little bit subjective. It's
yeah, it's subjective.
Of course, if you're taking your test and you're trying to get certified, it's not subjective. But
you have to be able to taste like what they're tasting. But it's weird. I think if I were to ever do like a tasting, you know what I'm saying, I would probably like start with tasting it myself and trying to figure it out, and then looking at like what the notes are supposed to be, and then like trying to figure out where the disconnect is for myself,
I like how simple he keeps it, because he talks about how wine, there's a lot of swirling and sucking going on, and but with this, you just take a sip, hold it in your mouth, and then swallow. And that's how I taste anything. I realize you're supposed to smell it, look at the legs as they drip down the sides of the glass, and then let it air, pull it through your nose and then out of your soul. But at the end of the day,
he's pretty straightforward about it.
Yeah, we're here to drink it. So yeah, I like that. And that's good, because that's what, it's not about what you can extract from it after different periods. It's about what does it taste like when you drink it. And if you're selling it, or if you're espousing its virtues upon others, I think you just need to know what it tastes like when you drink it. 99% of people are that. So I like what he says here.
Yeah, and then after drinking it neat for a few sips, he talks about adding a splash of water, which I've always heard. And
so isn't that putting ice in your whiskey? I drink my whiskey neat, right? So,
right.
And I've always been like, well, don't do that. It dilutes the whiskey. Why would you do that? Because it's taking away the flavors. But apparently,
it opens up and releases the spirit and more nuances, because there's oil. There's like, it separates it from the like, I think some of the notes and nuances get extracted by the water, essentially mixed with the water, which separates from the like oil, like the oily substance that is like whiskey. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The different, it separates it a little bit. That way, you're tasting more of the stuff that's now mixed with the water, so you're not overpowering those little nuances. Is essentially how I read that.
Yeah, I agree.
Basically,
I agree
it
that
separates out some of the flavors. Yeah,
but I don't know. I mean, what's the artist's intention? Is it for you to taste it straight up? Is it for you to taste it with a crushed
Oh, here we
ice, so
go.
it melts faster.
He puts it perfectly. I don't know why I ever try and put anything in my own words when like it's written so eloquently, you know.
Yeah.
There are certain flavors in here that are soluble in alcohol but not in water. So as the alcohol concentration drops, you can see them coming out. See the oils and the fats swirling around like a flower blooming, basically, is what he says.
Yeah. But it's essentially you're separating the flavors and letting them float around in the
Okay,
water.
and also this is what he says about ice. So with ice, it cools down the whiskey too quickly, and you won't get the flavors coming out.
So no ice.
No ice, use
Water.
drops of water, right?
Right? Okay, so the next time I'm at the restaurant and I'll say, "Can I get my bullet bourbon with some water, please?"
Right, with a glass of water on the side.
With a glass of water? Yeah, probably won't do that, but it's interesting. Yeah. Well, because the reason
It's good to have a glass of water on the side.
Well, it's about whether you have the crushed ice or the cubed ice or the rounded ice, which is supposed to melt less quickly, right? That's what a lot of the big debate is.
Yeah, it's like surface area thing and all that.
Yep, doesn't melt as quickly, the round one. Yeah, because of surface area, correct.
That's
what I hear. I don't know which one's better.
I don't know.
Jury's out.
You know what whiskey I tried the other day was Iron Smoke whiskey, and that's made out of Seneca Lake, which is like just down the way from where I live in New York. And they smoke all their all their all the grains for their mash bill. They smoke all of it with applewood first. And it comes out really nice. It's very smooth, very, very delicious, like sweet, almost to the point where you would think it was like a flavor added, you know, like an additive flavor. But
well, a lot of times,
good
like,
stuff.
A lot of people, a lot of liquor companies, the essence of the flavor, Grey Goose, when they have like Le Pio or their pear vodka, they actually add the essence of vodka into it, so it maintains its proof, but doesn't. But still gains the flavor. What they did is they bought a perfume company that was able to help them transfer the essence of something into a liquid form, and so it doesn't dilute the vodka. And so that's basically what I would assume the applewood's being done there
Right. It's not diluting it; it's giving it the flavor, though.
Yeah, it's like smoking your bourbon or your whiskey. You know, it's smoking it. It doesn't add anything, so it's not diluted. That's good. I'm a big proponent of having things in their natural full proof because, I mean, of course,
that's what Grey Goose does. They like use
all vodka is brought to like a obscenely high. It's like 94%, and then brought back down to 80%. But that's what when you run into these high proof whiskeys like Bullet or or like what we just talked about here.
Cask strength.
Yeah, those are brought to that, and they're left there, and so you get the full impact of it. And I'm all about that, whatever it is, even if it's less. If it's then that's the artist's intention.
Yeah, the artist's intention.
Which is small batch, right?
Yep. All right, let's take a look at the Scotch collection. I got the Macallan bottles and the 100-year whiskey. I'll leave that for next week so that we can get Epic in on those things. This Scotch collection, though, is the largest Scotch whiskey collection, which neither of us are interested in. I mean, I am, but
we don't know yet. We're not.
We don't know. Maybe I need this to know.
Our palates have not evolved to the 1926 Macallan.
No, I wouldn't even taste that. If someone offered me, I'd be like, I would just waste it. Hold on to that for me. It would just be a waste.
But no, thank you.
Thank you, but I'm not worthy.
If someone offers you a 1926 Macallan, you say thank you and you indulge. That's how that works.
Yeah, I would feel so. They'd like ask me about it, and I just wouldn't have anything to say about it. I'd feel so ashamed.
You wouldn't know. Yeah, I don't know what the right answer is here. I'm sorry.
What if I hated it? I'd be like, oh no, I'm stupid. I'm an idiot. I don't know how to taste.
What if I hated it? That's funny. It's because your palate isn't evolved. We all hated beer and we all hated whiskey at some point, right? Because
You
your
just got
palate, you're like,
seriously, I did hate beer and whiskey and every alcohol. It was like, why would anybody drink alcohol? Now I have like a bunch of bottles of whiskey.
Yeah. See, so it's an acquired
Because
taste.
there's I feel so pretentious
For drinking that. You know,
every time I like
eventually-
talk to somebody that's like not as into whiskey as I am, like, and I'm not even that into whiskey. I'm just I enjoy talking about it, but anytime I talk to somebody that like just drinks whiskey, that doesn't like look at articles and talk about it like every week with their friends, I feel so pretentious.
Right. I feel the same way about let's say like TVs, right? Or computers, or electronics, you know. Somebody says that their 720p TV is perfectly fine. I want to freak out all over them, but then I'm
Yeah. Actually, the pixel density is trash.
you know, yeah. There's no difference between a 1080p and a 4K. I'm like, I got.
Yeah,
I
remember a long time ago, people were like, "There's no difference between 60 frames and 120, or 120 and 144," and I was like, "You shut your dirty whore mouth."
So that's just you know that whiskey, your bourbon, whiskey, Scotch knowledge is along those lines. You know, I'm in the industry and you have more knowledge than I do, and that's cool.
It's hard to say because there's so much. Like, I would say I have varied knowledge. You know, I wouldn't say I have more necessarily, but I think we're probably about even. I probably got into looking at whiskeys about the same time. Like, I started up the SSP. So I mean, you're not too far behind. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like every week. Every week that we talk about it, like you're I would say you're right there now. I would say you have the same knowledge. At least
it's fun. It helps open my eyes to, well, what do I want to try next? You know, because you know when it's a different type of drinking when you're drinking to explore, and you know, or you're drinking to inebriate. It's two different types of drinking. So I'm more wanting to head in the drinking to explore and enjoy, so you can go bar to bar to bar, drink to drink to drink, and you can have a new experience each time. That's fun.
One day I'll have 3,900 bottles in my collection.
So what do you have? You have a bar at your house? Is that how you?
No.
Or like a cabinet that you keep your?
Yeah. Pretty.
Gotcha.
It's a shelf.
It's a shelf.
It's a shelf.
I call it the top of my kitchen cabinet.
Yeah. No. Got a little bit more like.
That's where Scotty has.
That's where Scotty has his. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta get him to stop doing that. He needs a cellar. He needs to build, or at least build it. Like, take one of his closets and
build a humidor.
Turn it into, just keep it dark and keep everything horizontal, but
slightly refrigerated.
Right, dry. It needs to be cool and dry, so you don't get corked wine, and the spirits will be fine. But he has the room, and I was telling him he should make a bar. He's like, for who? I don't drink. I said, for the people that come over.
Yeah, it's an experience that you can give to them. He collects all those bottles and people drink them. Like, why would you want to keep doing that, like, at the bar?
Yeah, and that's so you can
you sell it like professionally. Like, why wouldn't you want to do that at home?
Yeah,
like, even you know.
Yep. And so it's that's the next step for him is to entertain and help other people enjoy his collection. You know, they come over for Christmas and he busts out the Crown 13-year barrel mash, and he basically has a taste test right there on the spot, and everyone's happy, and he gets some information, and everyone's winning. That's cool. I'll go over there. I'll help him.
Right. Yeah. So this whiskey collection, 3,900 bottles, right? The only reason why it's up for sale is because the guy that put it all together passed away. Like, do you think he tried every bottle?
No.
Do you think he didn't try the best bottle? You know what I mean? Like, what if he was saving? Like, I'm gonna save this. I'm never gonna taste this 1926 until my son gets married, and then he died.
What's a $10 million collection? Can you imagine that?
Oh, how much do you think he spent on it in general? 39. Hang on, where's my calculator?
Oh, hundreds of thousands, probably
Oh yeah.
millions, maybe.
3,900 bottles. Let's say the average cost is like. Let's say the average cost is what, $200. $200.
I mean, look how he has it stored. I mean, yeah. Do you buy the room too?
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. That's in his mansion. So 3,900 bottles. If they averaged out to $200 a bottle, that's 780,000.
Yeah.
So
I can
he
see
could have
that.
spent $500 on average. $500, right?
Yeah. And his family just liquidated it. They didn't keep it.
That's only $2 million. If he paid an average of $500 per bottle, that's not bad, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, and he's got the coveted bottles. He's got everything. I mean,
It harkens back to like us talking about how whiskey is the best performing luxury asset over 10 years. Yeah,
isn't that crazy? That's where you can invest in whiskey.
I know. I mean, like, yeah.
Same with the gold always fluctuating and the ever present doom that we're seeing on the horizon. Wouldn't it be a time to invest in something you know is going to go on the rise? Think about it. When what goes up when things go down? Drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What goes up when things go up? Drinking.
Yeah, drinking. Right. So yeah, invest in whiskey. Literally, physically, you could have it in your closet. That's interesting. People collect a lot of things. They collect, sports paraphernalia, or they bottle caps, or they collect a lot of things. There's no reason you can't collect. But then you're going to be tempted to drink it, right?
Right. Well, yeah. I think the point is that you can like sample your own whiskey. Like I think you can still sell whiskey if you've opened it.
Huh. I wonder what the value. Oh, that's interesting. To look that up. Sell my whiskey. Scotchbuyers.com. We at Scotch, Bourbon, and Japanese Whiskey. Welcome to Scotch Buyers. We are buy rare, collectible Scotch, Bourbon, and Japanese Whiskey. Huh.
So he was in his 70s when he passed away.
That's interesting.
How old was he? Minus.
I didn't realize Japanese whiskey was such a big deal.
He was 68 when he passed away. He probably tried them all. He probably had all the good ones for sure. That's probably why he passed away. Broken liver. Albuquerque.
What is it?
Richard A. Gooding. Albuquerque obituary. What? He leaves behind a brother, David Gooding, and wife, Nancy, of North Carolina. Son, Stephen Gooding, and wife, Diana Gruel Gooding of Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Who is that? The owner of the
owner
collection?
of that whiskey collection from Albuquerque.
Huh.
Or lived in Albuquerque. Crazy. What a small world, huh?
Yeah, it is a small world. A lot going on. People winning Hellcat Dodges and whiskey collections.
And whiskey collections. And then we got CES developing sex toys.
Yeah.
And TVs.
And 8K TVs no one can afford.
Well, we'll find out.
Right? Oh, yeah.
Find out the prices for CES.
Looking forward to that discussion next week. I'm going to be all about that.
Yeah, CES is going to have so much for us to talk about. That'll probably be like a majority of what we talk about next week.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're still going to be doing the show on Saturday. We might even like watch some. Maybe we can put together like a little viewing party.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me know. Saturday I won't be available. Next Saturday. So see if we can do something.
Yeah, we'll see if we can figure something out. We can do it maybe Friday.
Yeah. Good. So
All right.
last but not least, what's up with this 100-year single malt?
Oh yeah, you want to talk about that one?
Yeah, real quick. I was going over it. I don't have to go in depth. We can save it for next week, but
Yeah, we can talk about it. What do you think the two biggest challenges of making a 100-year-old whiskey is?
retail for more than $30,000 a bottle. I think that it could go wrong, right? Something could get in there, contaminate it in that amount of time. The longer it's there,
Yeah.
the worse, the higher probability of contamination.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but
Well, the evaporation is one of the biggest issues.
right. So do you drop to under 40% APV?
But depending on the environment, like if it's like overheated or I forget what it is, but sometimes the alcohol will evaporate before
Yeah.
the water. So you'll lose your alcohol. Then you can't sell it as, if it's under 40%, you can't sell it as scotch.
And it runs the risk of not being scotch anymore. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then I think the other thing was the amount of bottles you get.
You're only 60.
Yeah, you only get like 60 bottles after 100 years because it's all evaporated out.
The amber hued and 72 years young. Gordon isn't the only house, huh? The Macallan was revealed 599 bottles of its oldest single malt to date, 72 years young. It's packaged in a lilac crystal decanter and considered a bargain for $65,000. It's insane. I mean, if you got it, whatever.
Yeah, if you got it, whatever. Yeah, that'll be worth it for sure.
Yeah, you bust out on Christmas.
No, you sell that in your like collection when you die to like take care of your family for the rest of their life.
Right? No, you drink that because that's what you do with a $65,000 bottle of scotch. You sip it slowly. Huh. Yeah, well, let's get Scotty's idea on this next week.
Yeah, I want to talk to him about that and the bottle too. The bottles. Talk about how they're packaging these suckers because those things are like really beautiful.
Yeah, these decanters.
Those you could stick like in a shadow box, like in a frame on a wall. Hell, cut your wall out and like stick it in.
It's a glass, yeah, like a museum.
Yeah, yeah. Seriously, those bottles are beautiful.
Yeah.
But we'll show those next week.
That's how we'll have our collection that we're gonna invest in.
A museum.
On a wall.
People can. Yeah, we'll just let people like just charge admission to see it.
Yeah, right.
Then I can earn money to buy my next bottle.
No,
seriously, a whiskey. I should open up a whiskey bar.
There you go.
But we'll flesh that. We'll talk about that more.
Yeah, the millennials' tastes are evolving.
SSP probably the way this is looking next Friday. We'll do SSP 10.
Let's do it.
All right.
Excited.